Hi and welcome to Object-Oriented Programming. A use case diagram is another diagram that comes from the UML. The name can be a little misleading. It sounds like a diagram of a use case and it isn't. It's almost always a diagram of several use cases and multiple actors at the same time. The reason it exists is so we can get an overview of these and see how these interact all in context. So it's not a replacement or substitution for a written use case. It's not the same thing. We still need the written use case. We have this so we can see a different perspective. So imagine we have been asked to write a simple knowledge base for an organization. We have talked to the customer, written a few casual use case, brainstormed some of the actors of this new system that we plan to build. The use case titles are in no particular order. Search titles, view an article, manage users, create an article, and view analytics. I'm not trying to be exhaustive here. Just list of a few use case goals that make sense. Let's say our actors are all role-based. We have got a visitor, a contributor, and an administrator. Now we will use figures to represent the primary actors, and this is how you represent actors in a UML use case diagram. Just as I show actors with figure, I'm going to draw ellipses around my use case titles. This is the way we make it obvious that it is a self-contained use case and not a piece of text. Now I'm going to draw a box around all the use case. This box represents the boundaries of my system, my knowledge base application that I'm going to write. Anything inside the box is a part of my system and anything outside is not. So the actors are all outside. Next, I'll draw a line between any of the actors and the use case they will interact with. So let's say a visitor can search and view an article, a contributor can create articles, and an administrator can manage users and view statistics. Now of course the administrator would likely to be able to search articles and read articles too, although you could argue that when doing that he is same as the visitor's role. Now these lines don't need arrow. It's not really about directions. It's merely saying that this actor uses this use case. I'm going to say that we are using a separate external computer system to store our article analytics data. So I'll represent the external system over here on the right. Now I could use another's figure because it's an actor, but because it's not a human actor, I'll prefer to use a box. So in that box I'm going to write the word actor with these two angle codes just to make it obvious. You can use the two less than signs or two greater than signs around the word actors, although officially it is French style codes, the guillemots, sometimes called angle codes or chevrons. Here I'm going to connect these lines between external system and two use cases I plan to use with it. The view article use case, which would save some analytics data back to the external system, and the view analytic use case, which would allow the administrator to read the details to them. Now typically you put the primary actors on the left hand side. These are two ones who initiate any of the use case, and the secondary actors on the right hand side. And these actors take more of a reactive role, but even that's not a hard and fast rule. Now this diagram is not referring to sequence. There is no necessary order to it. Sometimes people will write the use case in order to from the top to down if the application naturally flows that way. But very often the use case themselves don't have a built-in sequence. It's a simple overview of multiple use case and multiple actors at the same time without the details of each particular written use case. It can be useful as a communication tool even with business users, as it is not particularly technical and sometimes helpful to figure out if something is missing out from the picture. The use case diagrams can get a little deeper than this, but what we are trying to do here is let you read the vast majority of use case diagrams and easily create your own. So that's all for this video, and thank you so much for watching.